But you
Sunday.
know, then you look at it, and somebody told me that the average price of a ticket was $4,000.
And on the aftermarket, maybe not
Yeah,
on
that's, I mean,
the main
aftermarket.
sale. Yeah. Oh yeah, I
So,
can see that.
and they did 140, let's just say 150,000 people.
Right.
So 150,000 people, even if that's $500 a ticket, some cash.
Oh my God, absolutely. The success of the event. We mentioned that the other day.
That's what my wife was,
The whipping.
because my wife watched it with me. She was just like, so they electronically change sponsors for each fucking segment. I'm like, I'm wondering if Paul, who gets paid $15 million over 3 years, if part of that deal is he gets to put Prime on the, like, is that subtracted from his deal?
How's that? Is it subtracted from his pay?
Well, because he's got to pay for the advertising. You don't get free advertising on WrestleMania. Nobody else does.
No, Prime's paying.
Right. So
Mhm.
Prime is owned by Paul.
Oh wait, Prime.
Prime Energy Drink is owned by Paul,
I didn't even know
by
this.
Logan Paul.
Oh, Logan Paul. You're saying Paul, and I'm thinking
No, I'm saying
Levesque.
Logan
What the
Paul.
fuck are you talking about?
They did $1.2 billion in sales last year at Prime.
Yes, I heard that. So no, I mean that would come out of his
Yeah,
pay to appear there is his personal, and then his company writes a check for the
right.
advertising.
But I'm just saying though, it's
Probably get a favorable
it's a
rate.
completely. That's what I'm saying though, man. It's just like you're talking about so many revenue streams now that they were just so against. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. It looks like
So Steve just put up here WrestleMania 40 sold more than 90,000 tickets when it went on sale August 18th, breaking the previous record gate of 21.5 million set at WrestleMania 39. And Wesley did want
145,000
everyone
asses.
to know that the hydration station at ringside was free.
Something about Rock though that I forgot in all these years, and then I remembered watching the match Saturday night. I see him call spots a lot.
He doesn't have hair. I saw Roman calling some with Cody tonight, but he fucking,
Yeah, the head down.
You could just tell that but you couldn't see anything because he's got you got to have that mop, man.
Yeah. Or you grab him, dragging him across. He's too open with it.
Do you think he gives a fuck? He's too busy
Yeah,
saying
give a
mother.
shit.
He's too busy getting bleeped.
Oh
in
my
4
God,
words.
he's going buck wild with this.
It's so refreshing to sit there,
Oh,
like
I
even
hope they go
tonight
all
when
this.
Roman used Cody's finisher and he goes, that thing sucks, man. You can't beat anybody with that damn finish.
Yeah, they were dropping a few shit bombs too. I can't remember if it was Cole or Pat, but
Pat was talking about smoking a little green with Snoop, and so
yeah,
I said, man,
I know before one match they were mentioning the smelling herb in the crowd. Headingite, The Rock being blown up a couple months ago after Spinebuster was a great example of work. He blew up the internet saying he can't do it. Fucking great this weekend. Good high spots in that match, in that tag match. Thought it was well done.
I knew that
event.
I knew that it would be very, very difficult for Roman and Cody to go out there and follow that. And at about 1:00 this afternoon, I got a text from Austin. He said, "You ain't in Philly, are you?" I said, "No, you." He goes, "Nope."
Oh, so you knew Steve wasn't coming.
I knew Steve wasn't coming out. He said, "I think we're the only two." So they called me like 5 or 6 days out. And I said, man, number one, I really appreciate the offer. Secondly, I'm not a fucking volunteer fireman.
They wanted you to come out for free?
No, you need to give me a little fucking notice. Fuck, man. Hey, man, Elder's house is on fire.
Ding, 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 ding,
I'll,
ding.
I'll put that yellow light on top of my F-150. I'll be right there.
Now, I don't know if they said this to you, but would you have been coming out to do something, or would you have been there to spectate?
No,
I
I
said
would.
in our group chat, I said, Nash has been working us. He's there. The fucking music's going to hit after Taker comes
No,
out.
because if I was going to do that, I would have done it in Sting's match. I'm not doing anything fucking physical. I've got to a point right now, man, where it's like I can train again. I'm happy. Like my my life revolves around that 2 hours I go to the gym, and that's all I need. One of my buddies the other day came over to my house and he was going on and on about wait, you have a bucket list. I said, dude, if you've lived a life like me, the bucket's full. I got nothing I need to do, nothing I want to do. I want to do a fucking other. I'd love to do a film project this summer. I've got two in the works. I pray one of them go. Maybe 10, 12 days shooting, just enough to where it's get to do my art, be around that whole vibe. And you know what it's like, man. It's a different when you're on set.
It's not this.
No, no.
One move, power bomb. Mark just did the choke slam. Kev, come out, one move, power bomb, rolls on top, he gets the finish. You're the finish of WrestleMania, one move, jackknife. Do you take it?
Fuck, man, it's 370 yards to
From the
get
door, from the
fucking
locker room?
to get down to the ring to do it.
Yeah.
I live in Florida, man. Fuck that shit.
Wow. Okay.
Fucking go. Switch. I mean, I don't see the Final Four fucking playing outdoors in Philly. They're in Arizona with the fucking roof shut.
You could come out in a sweater. You didn't have to work.
Cardigan. Come out and hit somebody with a cardigan on and
With the one
power.
with the one where I saw the picture, you, Pat, and Bruce.
Oh, the Coogies back in the day.
Yeah.
Coogly, whatever the fuck they were called.
Sunday, the Sunday show opened with Drew and Rollins.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
And then it's just like I was happy for Drew because he got that fucking he got his moment. He was going to be and then fucking 5.5 minutes after that, Damian Priest fucking you know
We talked a little bit about finishes before we went on the air briefly, and the finish of the match is never the finish any longer. You've got to hit him with your finisher multiple times. There's always the near fall after the first finisher. The Claymore kick was done, multiple times. The art of the finish being the high spot of the match. Is it over?
I thought that Roman did a really good job at night 2 of going for the Superman punch and not landing it and getting beat by something else. And then I think twice he went for the spear, and Cody either caught him with a boot or a knee before he got to him. So, I mean, I think that I thought Roman did as good a job as anybody protecting his finish. I remember a long time ago, I was sitting in a car, I was just green as fuck, and I was with Jake. And Jake said, "When's the highest you'll ever get the people?" I said, "Fuck, man, when you hit your finish on him." He goes, "No, man. The highest you'll ever get them is when you set to give them your finish, and that's the key. They're not, Jake had the DDT, he'd set it, and then the guy would
Put him
hold
under
the
the
fuck.
arm and then look around, right?
Yeah, and then the guy would hold the rope, and Jake would go down and sell, and that was the whole thing. And that was always the Japanese way. They'd always go to set the finish, but something would come out of it.
And that's fine. And even like you said, cutting him off, that's fine.
Right,
But
absolutely.
Savage
but
only went to the top rope for the elbow
if he was going to beat
when
you,
it was going to be done.
you weren't going to kick out on it. It's like there's a tape of me power bombing Paul, the Giant,
Mm-hmm.
and people say, "Wow, man, you must have hurt your back when you power bomb the Giant." And I'm like, "No, I hit him with my finish. I wasn't covering him, so I sold,
Mm.
so I didn't have to have him kick out of my finish."
Exactly. So you protected the finish. Okay,
Absolutely,
makes sense.
Bubba.
Wish it was. I wish there was more of that. You know, I don't know how to do this and not sound like a dick. Should there be a difference between someone who's a heavyweight champion and like an intercontinental champion or a U.S. champion, or remember the litany of NWA belts, the national champion, the Central
There was a
States champion?
time when I walked into fucking WCW and it was still NWA. It was like there was 6-man tag, TV
Yes.
title,
Yeah.
TV the guy that repaired the TV belt. I mean, it was just like, what the fuck?
But Flair never held it. And Harley never held that belt.
No.
And Goldberg never held that belt.
Once
Jibble
it
now.
used to be the WWF, the rule was you become the IC champion to become, that was a stepping stone. You never went back. Once you had the IC, then it was, you could have the IC several times. I think Scott probably had that damn thing 5 times,
Right.
you know.
But you didn't go backwards. And that's my point, Wesley. That Flair, when Flair was a heavyweight champion, he was in a different category. You were competing against guys, and the title holders were the heavyweight champions.
He's the workhorse now. He's got Seth's belt.
Those fucking guys have to go do Raw tomorrow.
This is the perfect example of, because you went out to In-N-Out Burger. That was your first time you went to In-N-Out Burger,
Yeah,
right?
in California.
All right. So I don't think that there's a better burger joint than In-N-Out. That's, if I had to pick a burger joint to go to, their menu's this big. You know? They got like 6 items on their fucking menu. And I think I think the WWE right now is just, they've got an incredible product.
Yes. It's
know.
burgers, but for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And my burger was half
Good,
hour.
good fucking burgers.
Good burger.
Good fucking burgers.
Good burger.
You know, I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of diehard people still will say that they enjoy the AEW product.
They're the fries.
But to some people, man, like they're Carl's Jr. So
How'd we do?
yeah, I think that's, I would give it a B plus, the 2 nights.
Oh, yes. Okay. BB plus. I think that's fair. I would do the B plus.
I would go B plus.
I would go B plus.
I just think that, little things, when it got dark, the beauty shot, when they showed that whole crowd and the skyline peeking through, it was just like, wow. Like,
the presentation is consistently A plus.
yeah.
Very enviable production staff they have there, for sure. What did our live audience think? Throw up some grades for us, guys, as people send them to you. Give us a letter grade and let us know. Josh is at an A minus. A minus also from Dan. B plus. I was watching the press conference, and that's going to be another hour, right? So I'm thinking specifically about your friend Paul. Like, do you sleep at all after a WrestleMania? I mean, they've been putting this together for how long? I'm not even talking about storylines. I'm talking about production, all that shit, advertising, making sure the packages are ready, and just the adrenaline. When it's over, be able to sleep for a week.
I saw a thing today where they were in a golf cart and they were going around the stadium and they were talking to Paul. And he says, night one was great. He says, we've got to keep everybody up, got to keep the energy up. And just like, because I mean, I don't care if you're just the handheld guy. That fucking takes so much out of you to be spot on all night for 5 hours and turn around and go, and we're doing it again.
Yeah, good point.
It's just people forget all those the worker ants, and man, that like all that the people in the truck. I mean, it's Jesus. It's like air traffic control times 3, and you're doing it, and you turn around, you get a couple hours sleep, and you do it again, and
do you think Paul refers to them as the worker ants too? When he's the worker ants, come on, we're gonna have a little meeting here.
or your white worker bees. I mean, it's your fucking staff. But but staff to me is always somebody that doesn't work. The worker bees are the motherfuckers that are fucking doing the work.
Who's that over there? He's on staff.
Yeah, he's on staff.
He's on staff somewhere. I don't know
yeah,
what the
he's